Coach, do you think people will ever remember me? LeBron asked, holding back tears after a loss in the eighth grade finals. His jersey was soaked in sweat, not just from the game, but from trying so hard to matter. Coach Walker knelt down beside him. They'll remember how you stood up, not how you fell. That night, LeBron didn't sleep in his own bed. He didn't even have one. He laid on the worn-out couch of Frankie's house, his third friend's place in 5 months. His mom, Gloria, was still trying to find steady work, still trying to keep them afloat. He stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Someday, I'll make sure she never has to sleep worried again." Next morning, LeBron showed up to practice early. No one else was there. The court smelled like old sweat and dust, the lights still warming up. He practiced alone, free throws, footwork, again and again until his arms burned. He wasn't tall yet, not fast enough, not strong enough, but he had something in him that wouldn't sit down. Coach Walker watched quietly from the door. "Why were you here so early?" LeBron didn't stop dribbling. "Because being good isn't enough for me anymore. I want to be unforgettable." At school, kids made jokes about him moving around so much. "You gonna stay here longer than a week, LeBron?" One laughed in the hallway. He didn't respond. Not with words. He answered on the court. One game, he dropped 31 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, at just 14. The bleachers went from whispering to roaring. College scouts started sending letters. But behind every win was a storm. Some days, no food in the fridge. Other nights, hearing his mom cry behind a locked door. LeBron learned to be his own silence, his own fire. During a small tournament in Akron, he hit a game winner at the buzzer. Fans rushed the court. A local reporter wrote a feature the next day. 14-year-old LeBron James is not just a kid from Akron. He might be the chosen one. When he saw that paper, he didn't smile. He froze. He read the headline again, then again. "The chosen one." "Ma," he whispered, handing it to Gloria. She smiled, tears shining in her eyes. "You're going to change the world, baby." That night, LeBron taped the article to the wall above the couch. The same couch he'd slept on when he thought he was nobody. But something changed that night. He wasn't just chasing a name anymore. He was building a legacy. One sleepless night, one practice, one sacrifice at a time. LeBron James? He's already got ESPN at his games. "Man's not even in college," a jealous rival muttered, sweat dripping down his face after a 22-point loss to St. Vincent, St. Mary. LeBron walked off the court, camera lights flickering in his eyes, reporters already crowding his teammates. He didn't smile, didn't celebrate. He just looked up at the scoreboard, then down at his jersey. The name on the back meant nothing. The pressure on the front? That was everything now. He was 16, but nothing about life felt teenage anymore. Every game was a stage. Every missed shot, a headline. Every win, just another reminder that the world expected more. Coach Drew Joyce once pulled him aside after practice. "Bron, you all right?" LeBron stared at the floor. "I just wanted to play ball. Now, I gotta be perfect." ESPN was filming his high school games like they were NBA finals. Slam magazine put him on the cover. The next one, Nike, Reebok, Adidas, all knocking before he'd taken college class. And with every new headline, more people changed. Childhood friends started asking for money. Some of them disappeared when he said no. A cousin leaked personal photos to a blog. He was just a teenager, but already learning how fake the world could get. Even the locker room, the love didn't always feel real. Some teammates celebrated him. Others envied him. "Just don't forget who passed you the ball," one mumbled under his breath after a win. LeBron heard it, said nothing. But not all pressure came from the outside. He had dreams. Heavy ones. Nights where he couldn't sleep, just stared at the ceiling, replaying every missed free throw, every bad quarter, every moment he felt like he let someone down. Then came the letter from the NBA. Eligible for 2003 NBA draft. He looked at Gloria. "I can't mess this up." She held his face, looked him dead in the eye. "You've been fighting your whole life, baby. You don't mess up. You rise." Draft night, New York, 2003. LeBron sat at the table with a crisp suit, shaking hands, but fists tight under the table. Cameras everywhere. The world holding its breath. David Stern stepped to the podium. With the first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. He didn't cry immediately. He stood, hugged his mom so hard she couldn't breathe. Then, as he walked to the stage and heard the crowd roar, the tears came. Quiet, deep, real. He remembered that couch, that article on the wall. That night he asked Coach if anyone would remember his name. Now the whole world knew it. But to LeBron, this wasn't a finish line. It was just the beginning of a much heavier climb. "I'm taking my talents to South Beach," LeBron said on live TV, his voice steady, but his heart racing underneath that navy blazer. He thought he was stepping into greatness. But Cleveland heard betrayal. The announcement wasn't even cold yet when the videos started. People burning his jersey in driveways, booing his name in bars, calling him a coward, a traitor, a sellout. Gloria turned off the TV and looked at her son. "You sure you're ready for this storm?" LeBron nodded, eyes fixed on the dark screen. "I've been in storms my whole life, Ma. This one won't drown me either." But this one was different. He had always played with pressure. But now he was hated. Every arena was louder, nastier. "Queen James," fans shouted. "You'll never be Jordan." The media had a field day with every misstep. Every missed shot was a headline. Every loss, a celebration for those who once cheered him. Even inside the Miami locker room, the bond didn't come easy. Dwayne Wade had already built his legacy. Chris Bosh had his pride. "You good with being the villain?" Wade once asked after practice. LeBron tied his shoes slowly. "No, but I'm learning how to be." They weren't unbeatable. Not yet. And when they lost the 2011 finals to the Mavericks, the world laughed. The world didn't just want LeBron to lose. They wanted him to fail. Badly. He sat in the dark after Game 6, headphones on, tears behind closed eyelids. "I left everything for this," he whispered to himself. And it still wasn't enough. The hate, the headlines, the emptiness, it nearly broke him. But pain sharpened him. That summer, LeBron trained in silence. No interviews, no public appearances, just sweat, reps, film. He rebuilt himself, not just his jump shot, but his mindset. By 2012, he wasn't the boy who asked to be remembered. He was the man who demanded respect. That year, they won it all. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Heat versus Thunder. Final buzzer. LeBron looked up, arms raised, as the confetti fell like it had waited years just for him. The crowd chanted. The cameras flashed. But all he saw was Gloria, smiling, crying in the stands. He held the trophy tight, like it might vanish. "It's about damn time," he said on the mic, voice cracking. He wasn't running anymore. He wasn't trying to fit into anyone's expectations. This time, he played for himself. But deep down, one promise still echoed louder than any trophy. "Tell them I'm coming home," LeBron said quietly, staring out the window of a private jet as Ohio's faded skyline appeared beneath the clouds. It had been 4 years. 4 years since they burned his jersey. 4 years since the billboards came down, the murals were painted over, and his name became a curse in the city he once carried. But something inside him wouldn't rest. Not after 2 championships. Not after MVPs. Not after silencing the critics. Because there was one promise he hadn't kept. He still owed Cleveland its dream. Dan Gilbert's letter still hung in the air like smoke. All caps rage and betrayal. The city's heart was still cracked, and LeBron knew only one thing could heal it. Winning. Not for him. For them. When the return was announced, Cleveland didn't cheer right away. Some people stayed silent. Some said it was too late. But most cried. This time, LeBron came back not as a kid, not as a king, but as a man who had felt the weight of expectation and the cost of redemption. He didn't ask to be loved again. He came to fulfill the promise he once whispered to himself on a couch with a hole in it. They built the team fast. Kyrie Irving, electric and fearless. Kevin Love, skilled and selfless. But the chemistry wasn't instant. Injuries hit. Losses piled up. Doubt returned. And then, Golden State happened. The Warriors were a storm. Curry, Clay, Draymond, moving like a machine. By the time Cleveland reached the 2015 finals, Love was out. Kyrie went down. LeBron fought alone, dragging teammates who barely belonged on that stage. They lost, but he didn't flinch. Then came 2016. LeBron locked in like never before. He stopped smiling, stopped dancing. He studied film like a scientist, practiced like a soldier. This wasn't just basketball. It was atonement. Down 3-1 in the finals. The world counted them out. History's undefeated, someone said. So was pain, LeBron replied. Game 5, he drops 41. Game 6, another 41. The fire is back. Then, Game 7. With less than 2 minutes left, the score is tied. Curry lobs a pass to Iguodala. The crowd stands. It's a sure bucket. Until LeBron comes out of nowhere. The block, a leap from history itself. A rejection not just of shot, but of every doubt ever thrown at him. Seconds later, Kyrie hits the dagger. Cleveland explodes. Final buzzer. LeBron collapses to the floor, tears hitting the hardwood. I did it, he whispers. We did it. 52 years of waiting. 52 years of heartbreak. Ended by the same boy they once burned in effigy. That night, the city didn't just forgive him. Bron, you've done enough, Savannah whispered, placing her hand gently on his shoulder. But what if there's one more thing? He replied, staring at his son's jersey hanging by the locker room door. He'd already given Cleveland its miracle. He could have walked away a hero right then. But something inside him still burned. Not for fame, not for stats, but for legacy, the kind you pass down, not write on a plaque. In 2018, he signed with the Lakers. Not everyone understood. Some called it a business move. Some said he was chasing ghosts. But deep down, he knew it was about something bigger. Then, Kobe died. January 26, 2020. LeBron was just getting off a flight. He saw the texts, the calls, the silence in the hallway. He dropped to his knees. The man who once called him next up was gone. And in that moment, LeBron realized the crown was heavier than ever. The season paused. The world shut down. A virus took the noise out of basketball, but not the heart. Inside the NBA bubble, away from fans, away from family, LeBron played with ghosts in the rafters and pressure on his back. He led the Lakers through grief, silence, and sacrifice. No fans, no escape, just hardwood and willpower. October 2020. Finals. Lakers versus Heat. Game 6, final buzzer. LeBron drops to his knees again. Same tears. Different reason. Job finished, he muttered. A tribute to Kobe. A message to himself. But still, the world wanted more. GOAT debates. Kareem's record. Jordan comparisons. LeBron never fed into the noise. He let his game talk, let his body carry the proof. Then came the most personal chapter of all. Bronny. His son. His shadow. His reflection. Every layup Bronny made reminded LeBron of his own journey, from that leaky couch in Akron to the brightest lights in the world. They practiced together, argued, laughed, cried. Dad, you sure your knees can keep up? Bronny joked during a workout. LeBron smirked. My knees built your dreams. And yet, with every season, his body whispered louder. Ice packs, sore mornings, quiet groans behind closed doors. But he pushed on, not for another ring, not for records, for one game beside his son, a father and a son on the same court. Not as legend and heir, but as teammates. That dream, it kept him alive. And one night, as he sat alone in the empty gym, lights off, hands wrapped, sweat dripping, he whispered the words he never said out loud. I gave everything, not for records, for respect. Because in the end, it was never just about points, rings, or banners. It was about every step, every slam, every sacrifice. That made LeBron James a legend.